In case you missed it yesterday, the Big Ten named its all-conference gymnastics team, a team that was determined based on national qualifying scores accumulated during this season. Regular season champ UCLA and Michigan State leading the way with 4 first-team picks each. 16 gymnasts named to the second team. There's an all-freshman team as well. Again, we will guide you to big10.org. Details there. And do not forget, conference will crown a postseason champ this weekend. The Big Ten Gymnastics Championships at Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor. 3 sessions in all, starting Friday night, continuing Saturday afternoon and evening right here on the Big Ten Network. As always, you can see it all on the Fox Sports app. Let's get back to pucks. Here's where things stand in the pairwise standings heading into college hockey's conference championship weekend. Remember, it's a 16-team field, but the top 16 in the pairwise don't automatically make it, as there are auto bids for conference champs, meaning you can have bid stealers. Michigan State, Minnesota, Ohio State safely in. It gets interesting after that with Penn State and Michigan. Cappy, I'm going to defer to you, but I was floating around.
I mean, I'm looking at it. I still don't know.
I was floating around a couple of websites that give you probabilities.
Sure.
And it sounds like Penn State's probability probably over 80%.
Right.
And Michigan State's maybe in the 20% or below range. So give us the path. Like, how does Penn State get in? How's Michigan?
Penn State has a lot of options. They can afford to have an upset or two. Michigan really cannot.
Okay.
So there's basically three conferences right now that they need to go chalk or have teams that are already in the tournament. So the big one, I think, is Quinnipiac. They lead their conference. They're the #1 team. They need them to win the conference and not. So if they lose it, they're probably if they would stay above Michigan.
They'd still get in,
and they would hike, and then Dartmouth or Cornell would get that spot. For Penn State, they can have that happen. They can't have 3 things happen. So like they can't run the gauntlet of all 3 sections having a team bid stealer, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it gets, the Hockey East one, there's 1 of 4 teams, and the other one is 2. So you have 75% chance it doesn't happen in one, 50 in the other, and then with the Quinnipiac thing, Quinnipiac can lose to Cornell on Friday in the semis, and Penn State would jump them. So that's one thing with Quinnipiac. They could lose one. If they lose the first game, Penn State would jump them.
But you think Quinnipiac would stay ahead of Michigan?
They would. In terms of all the computer rankings I've seen, that's what it shows, and that's kind of the base it's on. It's on computers. It's not opinions.
Well, and that is the beauty of it, right? North Carolina can't randomly make it despite not having a good resume.
We won't have that kind of argument.
Not,
Everyone will complain about the computer system. Why does this weigh this much and all that? But
not that I'm still slightly bitter about what happened on Selection Sunday. All right, great stuff, Cappy. Thanks a lot. Mentioned it earlier. It bears repeating. Michigan State's Isaac Howard, your Big Ten Player of the Year. Howard, the conference's leading goal scorer, the 3rd Spartan to win this award all time, first in 6 years. Again, leading MSU into the conference championship game against Ohio State on Saturday. Isaac Howard, fresh off the ice at practice and joining us now. Congratulations. What did you think when you heard you'd won this award?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty exciting. Nighty kind of just pulled us in, for our circle after practice and announced it. So it was pretty cool. And, definitely shout out to my teammates that helped me get it.
You're the Big Ten scoring leader, 24 goals on the year. You had 8 last year. To what do you attribute the big jump this year?
I kind of just came in with more of a, goal scoring mentality this year. I wanted to score more and impact the game more. And, I think it's been working.
You spent a year at Minnesota Duluth, and you had some background with Adam Nightingale, and you decided to come to Michigan State. What made him the right coach for you? Why did you want to be a part of the build and play for him?
Yeah, I loved what he started here in his first year, and I was so comfortable with him as a coach. I knew exactly how he likes to play, how he likes to practice. He preaches development a ton, and obviously I'm in a developmental state, so this was a great place I wanted to come and get better. And I've absolutely loved it here. I think the culture, just everything about the place has been so great, and I'm very happy that I knew Nighty before this, and I was able to come in here and make a good transition.
Although one thing that was really interesting was that you did not make a campus visit before you committed. So I just think that's fascinating, right? Like, that's where I'm going to be for at least a couple of years, but I haven't seen the place. What was your reaction when you first got there?
I mean, Yeah, I just remember kind of looking it up just online now, seeing the kind of the blueprints of the arena and stuff, and I was kind of blown away. Honestly, I didn't feel like I needed to see it. It looked so unreal, and the campus is so beautiful. I was just excited to get down here and finally check it out in the summertime, and it didn't disappoint.
I want to get into your background a little bit. You grew up in Wisconsin, but not far from Minneapolis, and I gather you grew up in a competitive household with a few brothers. What was the atmosphere like with your brothers growing up?
Yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better way to grow up. I had three brothers, two older, one younger, and I think that helps make me the player I am today. Like those guys just push me to be better every day in the summer. You're playing 2-on-2 football, knee hockey, street hockey, Nerf, just all that stuff, and just having a blast with it, and always competing. And it was definitely a loud household, but it was unreal.
When did you decide that hockey was definitely the path? You mentioned playing a lot of different sports growing up.
Yeah, it was always my number one. Both my older brothers played and my dad played, and I was obsessed with the NHL when I was young. Loved the Wild. I was on skates at like 2 years old, so it was always my number one sport. Something I always wanted to do. I played other sports, had fun with it, but hockey always felt like my main one.
Well, you have never lacked for confidence, and I don't know if all Big Ten fans have seen this, but I wanted to bring out the suit that you wore to the NHL draft a couple of years ago. Not everyone would be comfortable going into public on maybe the biggest night of their life with that look. Isaac, where does that confidence come from?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just like a swagger I've had my whole life. It was obviously a big night, and I wanted to look good, have some fun with it. I guess I'm not too nervous to do that stuff on a national stage. That was like a fun thing to do, and definitely got a lot. It kind of blew up, and it was fun to see that play out.
Yeah, it did blow up indeed, made a lot of waves there in the hockey world. It's interesting. One thing we were talking earlier about your season, Paul and I were, and I mentioned that it is different in hockey. Like I primarily cover football and basketball, and obviously it's different in those sports that you don't have players who've already been picked professionally competing in college, and it is different in hockey. And as we mentioned, you're a first-round pick. And I know, like your career at Minnesota Duluth, it was a fine start, but I mean, you set the world on fire. You didn't really set it on fire last year either. This is your first truly great year. What is the pressure like of going to college, but being a first-round pick, having that label with you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just something that's going to stick with you, and people know it, but it's honestly just something you kind of put in the back of your head. I just try to ground myself at college, buy into the team, and your draft position or if you're drafted or not really shouldn't matter too much, honestly, in college. You just want to, honestly, I just try to buy into the team, just be one of the guys, and that'll kind of take care of itself later down the road.
Well, it certainly has, and you played so well this year, including the game winner on Saturday to send MSU into the title game, the 1-0 win over Notre Dame. Take us through that play in the game-winning goal.
Yeah, we had a quick power play. I think 25 seconds left or something going into the third, and it was a great pass by Dorwart. Kind of found me in that seam, and just try to rip it on net quick and catch goalie off guard, and then the building was rocking, and it was a good time.
Yeah, it really worked out well coming out with that little bit of extra power play to start the period, and you guys had a good strategy there to get that game winner. And so now you head into the Big Ten championship game against Ohio State this weekend. Give us a very quick scouting report on the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I mean, we know everyone's gonna play hard at this time of year. We expect a good game. We're both gonna come out there and be ready to go. We get a unique opportunity to win the playoffs again for a back-to-back year, and we're excited and ready to go.
All right, well, Isaac, congratulations. I assume that if you guys win the national championship, we'll get a shot of you hoisting the trophy in the white suit. I would expect nothing less. You got to pull it out.
I wouldn't mind that. Yeah.
All right, hey, congrats, Isaac. Really great year, and best of luck here as you guys go forward in the postseason.
Thank you. Take care.